What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to all the like-minded entrepreneurs, traders joining me today. If you guys are on this video, it's probably because you've been interested in learning a little bit more about the Ftmo challenge, and you're probably thinking about getting started too. So what I'm going to be doing with this series is I'm going to be giving you guys an in-depth look at the trades I'm taking, how it is that I'm going from phase 1, phase 2, all the way to the actual funding process in the Ftmo challenge here. And you guys are going to see me probably withdraw as well from this challenge also. So I'm really excited to be bringing this information to you guys. I know it's going to open up a lot of your minds, going to bring you guys a lot of belief when it comes down to trading and using the Ftmo system. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it, right? All right, fam, so let's go ahead and get straight into this thing. I want to show you guys pretty much what the account looks like right now. I've had a really good run since the day that I opened it. We took several trades in the beginning that I just for whatever reason just didn't really feel too confident with, and I closed them early. I'm gonna walk you guys through every single trade that I took. But after those few trades, man, I really went off. Super low risk, high reward trades, very efficient trading. And last week was just a phenomenal week to trade. So as far as the objectives, I'm about 8 days in. I already hit my goal for the profit target, max loss, and my max daily loss. I only went as low as $1,500 in equity. Considering that we're using very big lots, it's super good. Max loss, I only went about $852 negative in closed orders. And as far as profit target, that was about 13,000 where we're at right now. So we're just waiting for those 2 more days to finish up so we can go ahead and continue. I started this on August 17th, and we finish up on the 17th of September. So I'll go ahead and I'll walk you guys through these trades that I took last week. Of course, we're gonna start off with the trades that I did that were, of course, just a little that I was a little bit insecure with, but they still went and they smashed take profit, but I closed them in profit. And then we'll go into the more aggressive trades that I took, like for example here, this XAUUSD 100 lot. On Ftmo, you want to know also these are many lots, so 100 is technically like a 10 lot. It's not actually 100 lots. So I just want you guys to kind of keep that in mind. And then, we're going to go over a few more trades where we got some profits over here. 2,000, 1,700, 326. We took these losses here on EuroCAD. I'm not going to go over those, but I will go over this beautiful USD/JPY win with a smaller lot, but still high reward trade. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I have here my my trading view set up. I don't really use too many indicators. I'm super simple with my trading. I'm looking for specific movements in the market. And so the way that I set these up, it's going to be very understandable for a lot of people. You may not understand how I find the trade. That's okay. That's kind of like our secret strategy that I use with my organization. I was taught by this elite group of traders who use what they call smart money trading, a really advanced form of trading where you're essentially trading with the banks and you're looking for those small opportunities where the market comes to you. And so what we did here was, this is the first trade we took, EuroCAD. Where I took profit early on this trade, a very high risk to reward. We had about an 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So for every dollar we risked, we were making about $8 on this trade. I took profit extremely early, but we did see high margins on this. So I'm going to kind of go over this trade real fast. Let me just make sure this thing stops doing this. Perfect. So this trade was beautiful. It was a very textbook trade. The reason why I got out of it early, and as you guys can see here, is because there was a lot of consolidation. I traded about 2 to 3 a.m. And so this market was super choppy from 3 to almost 5, 6 in the morning. It did not want to leave this area, right? You can kind of see this kind of like funnel happening here where the market could have easily sold off. And so I just started to feel a little bit insecure. Yes, it was low risk, but I was like, you know what, I can probably get out of this trade early and allow it to just, I'll take profit. It was a couple $100 profit. I felt happy with the trade. I took profit, I want to say around over here, somewhere around here. It was very small, it was like 10 pips. But as you can see, by 7 in the morning, New York session, this thing just blew up and it literally went all the way to take profit. So that was a beautiful trade. That was the first trade that we caught here. The next one was a gold trade that we pretty much saw last week. This one was pretty crazy, so I want to kind of explain this one to you. So let me go ahead and come over here. Boom, open this up. And I'll kind of explain to you the idea behind this trade. So the week prior, I had seen a massive move on gold, and there's something that we trade called imbalances. This is an imbalance, right? Essentially where the market completely drops off from a specific point, and when it makes that drop off, there's like a gap that needs to kind of be filled. There's orders here that need to be filled where the market kind of comes back to. It's a strategy called imbalance trading. And so I waited for the whole week, right? I waited the whole week for this opportunity to happen. I let the market fall. Everybody's like, oh, sell gold, sell gold. I was like, I'll just be patient. I'll wait for it to want to come back to this point. And lo and behold, by the time I actually started my Ftmo account, it went ahead and it came back to this area. So we went ahead and we started to go ahead and look at this at a 1 hour time frame. And I didn't exactly enter after it hit my imbalance. I entered after it made a massive drop. So as you guys can see, the market came here and then it dropped, and then it decided to come back to these points. So here was my point of interest candle. This was the candle that I used to enter off of. I had 3 points of entry, and if we kind of zoom in to the 15-minute, you'll see that each point of entry was hit, right, perfectly with this little candle right here. Tested it multiple times before it went ahead and it went for that drop. So we did, so for me personally, guys, I want you to know I did enter this. I did exit early. So if we look at my account metrics over here, I exited this trade early. My entries at 204, let me see, 204, 204, 204. All of these entries that I had over here, they were, actually, I'm sorry, 207, 204, 209. These were the ones that I entered at, and I kind of got out of them a little bit early just because, like I said, this market was super choppy. Like, look at this. We're talking about like for hours, it was just doing this. And so I don't know, for whatever reason, I closed out the trade and I wanted to wait for a better opportunity, but it was still respecting my levels, right? It was still respecting my levels here, those lines that I had set up. It would come back and retest multiple times until finally we saw a big drop. And so what I did, right, to kind of enter that 100 lot trade was I found that imbalance section here in the gold opportunity, but on a 15-minute time frame, right? Markets are very frugal, which means that you can find the same opportunities in bigger time frames as you can in smaller time frames. So I saw that imbalance opportunity with the momentum downward, and so I just waited for this market to come back up to me. I set a stop loss. My stop loss was right about here. I think it was maybe a little bit slightly above this area, and this was my take profit. Well, my take profit was a lot lower. My take profit was down here, but I honestly took profit right about here at 1997. I was already up 60 pips at this point, and from 2003 to to 1997, I believe it was 60 pips I took profit on. But the market just honestly kept freaking going down and down, and this would have been a very, very crazy trade. We could have made thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on this trade here if I would have held it to my ultimate take profit down here. But it is what it is. I did come out early. I was only looking for my percentage on my account, and I made about $6,000 on that one trade. So that's where we see the $6,000 payout from this trade right here, from 2003 entry to 1996, 97, where I exited that trade. Crazy enough, it's only about $50 in commissions, which is pretty crazy. $50 in commission for a $6,000 win. That's phenomenal. We'll go ahead and we'll start examining the next trade. So the next trade that I went ahead and took was Euro GBP. Right, we'll talk about Euro GBP over here. Euro GBP was a beautiful, beautiful trade. I was looking at this, I believe it's from the hour time frame. So let's go ahead and open this up over here. Boom. Right. So let's check this out, right? This was the trade that I was looking at. And so what my point of interest candle, let me go ahead and kind of just move this back over here. Replay. Boom. Right. My point of interest candle was this candle right here, right? I loved how this candle had just, it had wicked down to then come back up, right? Something, I can kind of give you guys right now is understand when the market does things like this, right? Where it does equal lows, right? Equal lows, and it's just hitting these same points. What's happening is a lot of retail traders, right? Normal traders, what they're thinking to themselves is, oh, there's a support, right? But what's really happening is that there's a money pocket down here that the banks can use to manipulate the market, right? And with that manipulation, they can actually, push their orders down, enter down here, and then drive the market back up, right? And so when this happens, this is why a lot of traders who, set stop losses right under, equal highs and equal lows, they get obliterated because the markets use this opportunity here, all this liquidity, all these orders that are set down here to pretty much take your money so they can go ahead and make a profit. So you get taken out of the trade and they continue driving the trade up, and eventually it goes in your direction. So this is something that, it's not an advanced topic, but as a retail trader you get to learn, and maybe some of you guys suffer from this. So something you definitely want to keep in mind, right? After I saw this move happen on the 1 hour time frame, right, where we saw the market pretty much drive price down and then we saw an engulfing candle up, I used this candle right here as my point of interest candle. So this was my point of interest candle right there. I set my lines up, and then I went ahead and I entered this market, gave myself a decent room for stop loss. I think this stop loss here was only about it was about 12 pips, super small, something very, very normal. But if you kind of check this out on the let's do a 30-minute time frame, kind of play out. I entered at all my points, right? But the market definitely wanted to come over here and test these levels. So sometimes you got to give the market room to breathe. It's not just about not going and draw down at all, but giving the market room to breathe. And then once we did have that momentum, we went ahead and we boom, saw that drive up. We saw a retest, and the market eventually went ahead and smashed take profit. So it hit take profit at about, I want to say, the next day, 3 in the afternoon. I personally exited this trade a few pips in, so about 30, maybe about 20 pips in. I was using $8 lots. So for me, remember, a smaller risk means higher reward. So of course I'm going to be able to make a lot more money. I ended up pretty much taking profit somewhere like around here. I didn't allow the market to come back and test me down here, but throughout the day, if I would have held the trade, I would have actually smashed take profit, which would have been a massive amount of pips. I'm only looking for my 10% here, right? I'm not really looking for the whole move. Sometimes if I get in and out with the bag, I mean, in this trade I made about $4,000. That automatically put me at my 10K for the day, and I had already smacked my take profit area there. And of course, I took a little loss here. And the one that I honestly loved the most, the trade that I caught the most pips in last week, was a beautiful USD JPY trade that I'm going to show you guys right now how I caught this one. This one was extremely, extremely spectacular. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous entry. And once again, right, the market had a massive drop, right? It had a massive fall, and so I used that to kind of wait for the market to want to step back into an imbalance zone. It didn't really touch the imbalance zone. Maybe it's going to go ahead and hit it sometime this week. So I'll go ahead and pay attention to that if it does come back over here and want to continue to drop. But that's how I kind of help myself know that, hey, this market does have that bullish momentum and I can look for an opportunity here. So I'll go ahead and replay this. Let me put this at the 1 hour. And the way I kind of saw this trade play out was like this. So market essentially dropped, and then on the 1 hour time frame we had a massive, massive move up, a very aggressive move up, right? The market had kind of like funneled here a little bit, and then it pretty much drove price down, and after it drove price down, it completely engulfed the entire move prior. So I knew this right here was my point of interest candle, where the banks had kind of stepped into the market, and I wanted to start paying attention. And so I just waited. So what I did was I just waited for the market to kind of come back to me. It made a little high over here, and I used that as my first take profit zone. So you kind of see this market come down, and I'll go ahead and I'll get into this on a very small time frame, even the 5-minute time frame. Check this out, guys. Like you probably won't believe this. Just off of those points that I set up, look at how small my stop loss is. Boom, hit it and completely just drove price right back up. And so beautiful entry, extremely small lot size, extremely small stop loss, 5 pips, and the market honestly just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And over time we did see this entire move happen where we eventually got all the way up here. So just this trade right here, we're looking at about 100 pips. I entered in with a point, with a 2 lot, a 1 lot, and a 2 lot at those 3 different entry points at 105, 200 with a buy limit, and I made about 1,400, 800, and 800, taking profit on the way there, on the way up. So beautiful trade. I mean, honestly, just caught a massive amount of pips. I drove one of these orders over 80 pips. Could have continued going up, but I was already at my 10%. I was happy with my winnings, and so I didn't really feel like there was a need to have to continue going up and making more money. So I pretty much stopped for the week there. I've been placing small trades with super small lot sizes, just kind of helping my team members with understanding some trades. I took some small lot trades with my team. This one took a little loss at 20 pips, and then these are just orders that I entered throughout the weekend to make sure that I had my days continue to go in, right? Because a trading day counts as a day that you place a trade. So I kept placing trades throughout the weekend to make sure that these things went up, and I was going to go ahead and be able to pass my challenge with the 10 days as quickly as possible. So guys, that was pretty much my my challenge so far. I'm almost done with it. You will see a part 2 of this video where I'll be going over the validation phase. Validation phase is 60 days, 5%. So I know I'm going to go ahead and chop that up super quick. Of course, using proper risk management. I only do about 1% risk per trade, which is the reason for the high lot sizes. But I mean, if you kind of see here, the fact that I'm using 5 pip stop losses, 10 pip stop losses, with a small stop loss, you can really increase the lot size and still risk about 1% of your account, but get a massive payout. So these sniper entries are very profitable. I love the strategy that I'm using. Maybe you guys right now are looking for a profitable strategy. I'm a part of I Am Mastery Academy. I have an organization of about 450 team members that I work with on a day-to-day basis, and we learn from our educators here in the company. So I learned this strategy using one of the products that we have in here. If you guys want to learn more about a profitable strategy, maybe you want to learn this specific strategy, feel free to reach out to me, ask questions. I'm here to help you guys out, and just share my personal trading experience and how it goes with FTMO. So I hope you guys comment. I hope you guys rate this video. You go ahead and you subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of content that I have in my prior videos that I've dropped that you guys can kind of leverage. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, man. I'd love to speak with you. Drop comments, just share some love. All right, guys? So I hope every single one of you have a phenomenal day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you got value from it. Take care, guys. Appreciate you for progressing with Play. Let's go.